Hi guys, and welcome back to one of my videos. The subject of today is a very interesting American car. It's a Calaway c7rgt3. It's a car that raced, I think, until the last year, because this year I didn't see so many pictures for around. Of course, there have been some problem with the pandemic and with COVID, so probably that is one of the reasons why they are quite stopped with this car. And what I wanted to do, basically, it was to convert the 125 body from the original Revel. I have it here, this ordinary box. This is the American box. You can also have the, you can see here, that one. Let's do this model, Everybody have it, also in the European version, probably with better decals, made by Revel Germany. So I started with the body of that car that was meant to be in 125 scale, and then I recreated nearly entirely the body of this Calaway, and I think it is much more closer to 124 scale. That's why, because I increased a little with the wheel arch here, the front and the rear wheel arch. I increased a little the wheelbase. It's slightly, because it became nearly 1 millimeter longer, than 125 scale, and as well as the wheels. The wheel that I provide, I don't know if I have them here. The wheel that I will provide is the same wheels that I used in my Honda NSX, because this in reality the Calaway had that wheels that you can see in picture. This one, it was exactly the identical wheel that we have in the Honda NSX, and it is a 124 scale, so the wheels and the body and everything remains in 124. Of course, the part that I didn't change it from 125 scale, it is the main frame of the windshield and the interior part, because my idea should not be to create a complete racing kit of this car, because it became too expensive for me to produce, and too expensive for the guys to buy a complete kit in 124 scale. So I meant it like to be a conversion kit for the Rev, so it's always in that limbo of not properly 124, but neither 125 like the original Corvette. They are slightly smaller, so was a little trick, and was one of the main reasons why I kept it a little longer before I started to build up this car. But I don't care, also because honestly today I neither do know if this car will be in production or not. And why this? Because the Calaway have a nasty feature that is one of the nice point of the car, and she have a lot of side vents, like all the GT3, like the Evo NSX that I just finished and still under production, but I could not follow the production because I'm stuck in Sweden for COVID, so I cannot follow the production in Italy about my model. So that's it. We have to wait, I have to wait, my friends have to wait, everybody have to wait about this stuff, and so I'm a little stuck with the production of this stuff. But in this specific model, we have all this side here that is vents in the original model. You can see from the pictures here, there is vents there, there is vents there, there is vents here. So for me it's not a problem to build up the vents. And my idea right now, I mean today, when I just finished this body yesterday, so today we are 20 of January, something like that, 23, 26, but around the 20th of January, I finished the body. And my idea, it was anyway to create the main body with these big holes, with the purpose to recreate all the side vents apart from the main body. So maybe the caster can think to make the mold of the main body. The underbody is the ordinary Corvette from Revel, just modified in the rear diffuser structure. That probably will take a line here and cut it and provide like a racing part, because it's very different also from the ordinary standard Corvette. If you take the ordinary model, you can see immediately that is really different. Also, all detail, it's another car completely. And I think of the original body, I nearly didn't save anything, because The doors is not Corvette, they are different. I mean, when I say this stuff, just take your ordinary model of the C7R, if you have it from Revel Monogram, and check it, what I'm saying. So the doors are different. In this case they are a little longer cut, so increase it for the scale, so they are not the same. The wheel arch is different, the body side is different, the roof is also different for the hatch, the rear windshield is different because it's shorter, and also the roll cage inside is different. So I think it's 80% different from the ordinary Corvette. So from the standard model you just save the inner part, the floor base, you know, of this model, and some minor details that I think they are anyway cheaper than make the entire part in resin, you know. Also the front, here I placed some tape under the body to have the possibility to end it with one hand for the video, but also the roll cage inside is different because the original Corvette have a much deeper V made in tubes arriving to the dashboard that this car don't have, and also the front end is different, so the air intake in front is completely rebuilt. It's basically another car, completely another car. I just left because I still don't know how to fix it. From the view you can see from the bonnet vents you can see part of the V8 engine inside, you know. Usually they have a covering there, but I don't have proper pictures about this part. But I mean, right now I was mostly focused about the building up of the main body, you know. It was sad because I tried to contact the Calaway company to have a little hints from them, you know, just ordinary promotional stuff, and I get a disappointing answer that was, no man, we can't. So the Calaway producer, guys, this is not the way to treat people that like your stuff, you know, because really put them completely down. It was completely different when I had the help from Honda. Okay, they were my friends, okay, they were Italian, whatever, but I mean, whatsoever, they understand that it was just for people that love what they do in reality. Instead, the Calaway guys, I don't know, probably they are focused on selling some SUV with big off-road, I don't know. Don't let me talk bullshit about these guys, but really, they they were disappointing. I mean, the guy in charge to answer to the people, to the public, was really, you understand what I mean. That's it. Anyway, the car has been produced, and the body is now done. One of my technique is usually to build up the main body and let it be for some time apart, because right now I'm really in love with this model, so I cannot see the mistakes that I did during the first build up and construction. So what do? Right now I'm producing power boat for my customers, and for my own production I currently make this Calaway and the Alpha 156 plus the other model that I already have developed. But right now I would like to take a little pause on this master and go on with other stuff. This is why because when I know that I will retake in my hands the model, I will see a lot of little parts and finishing details compared to the main pictures that I have that will be easy to correct much more than now. For example, I mean, this is just an example because this is still, it's a master completed at the 50-60%, not more, in my opinion. For example, one mistake that I will absolutely to correct, but this is just a dime, just a proportion, is the exhaust point. The exhaust point that I placed here in the real car is much more forward. If you see with the line on the door, it arrived nearly here. So it's nothing impossible to do, just to close this one, make a proper hole there with the dime around of the flame protection from the side, from the carbon fiber. So it's nothing hard to do, but it's something that I can make in a second moment when I have a clearer idea on how to fit in the vents and so on. The vents, in my opinion, will be made with a little cell inside and hosting a little part with the 7 vents for all this part. I think is much better for everybody to do them. Instead, in the first body, it is also true that it was just 2 vents in the Porsche. I remember that for somebody I had the problem that the vents of the Porsche body of the GT3 R, based on the 997 that I made several years ago, had the problem that they were extremely thin and very, very easy to be destroyed. The guy was able to print them in a single piece because he was extremely skilled in doing this job, but I think it may be better to have them separate. So if somebody also want to do them better or in differ with more detail and so on, they can absolutely do it, and it's also much more easy to make them completely open if you want just to rebuild, because this is a part that if the model will be not produced, I will just finish with some sheet styrene by evergreen, and in one day I'm done with all the vents. You know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's 8 vents, 10 plus the side, you know, 10 vents, so it's not this big issue to do, but it's an issue if the vents are in position, like with the Honda NSX that I had to cut side. I don't want to divide the bodies, you know, the only stuff that I think to do is to, for stability also of the mold, is to place the bonnet in the position, maintaining the original separation lines. So if somebody wants anyway to cut it and show the inner side, reworking the intakes of the air scope from inside, you can absolutely do it, you know. But my idea it is to maintain the body in this way. I already had several requests from many friends about the production of this body, and I really hope I can do it, but at today, because of COVID, because of this absolutely messy situation, I cannot say much more. For now, I just concentrate on the building up at my best of these masters. That's all, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next production video.